Today we're making this quilt, and believe it or not, all you need to cut are 6-inch squares. Hi, my name is Jenna, and today we're making this beautiful, gorgeous, colorful pink quilt. You can really do it in any color you want. But believe it or not, you only need 9 patches to make this. Like, this whole thing is made out of 9 patches. When making quilts, I love to hack little ways to cut the fabric so that it makes my life easier, and that is what this quilt is. It looks complicated, but in fact, it is so dang darn easy. For this quilt, we need to make 2 different 9 patches. So I'm gonna make a 9 patch using this red and this darker of the lighter pinks, and then this magenta-y pink and this pink rose. For this quilt to have this cool, like square in a square, Irish chain looking design, we need to put our fabrics in the right spots. So one of our 9 patches, this is gonna start with the poppy red as our outside pieces, and then we need 4 of the princess pink. Then our other 9 patch is gonna have the magenta on the outside where the red is, and the pink rose is going to be the in-between fillers. Now we're gonna sew this together like a typical 9 patch, except 2 little different things. One, you wanna use a scant 1/4 inch seam, which means a little less than 1/4 inch. And then we're gonna wanna press all of our seams open just so that everything is consistent throughout the quilt. I'm gonna go sew these 9 patches together, and I'll be right back. I know I'm not done with the 9 patch yet, but I had a quick tip for you when it came to pinning your 9 patch together to be sewn together, because typically when people do 9 patches, they press the seams in opposite directions so that you can nest them. But because we're pressing the seams open, it's a little bit trickier to get that perfect point. And so when you are pinning your seams, I want to pay attention to what direction it's going to go into my machine. So right now it's going to go in from right here. So I am going to first line up my seam right on top of each other, and I want to make sure that they are perfectly checkered. And then when I pin, instead of pinning directly onto the seam, I like to pin a little bit to the left of the seam. That way, when the feed dogs are pushing the fabric through the machine, the pin is a little bit away from that seam so that no fabric bulges over where that seam is, which I find happens sometimes. So just by pinning it a little bit to the left of the seam, we'll get our perfect point. We now have our 2 9 patch blocks, and these blocks are pretty big. I use 6.5 inch squares with them, but you can use any size square you want. With 6.5 inch squares, you make 8 of each of these to make 16 blocks total, and that makes a pretty decent sized throw quilt, so that's why I like doing the 6.5 inch. Our next step is to cut down our 9 patches into 16 different blocks, and this is where all of the fun happens. So first we're gonna start cutting down the middle, and we need to cut 9.25 inches in from the end. And this is when I like combining 2 rulers. I have a 6.5 by 24.5 inch true cut ruler and a 6.5 inch by 12.5 inch true cut ruler, and these 2 are my favorite when doing long cuts that need to be more than 6.5 inches in width. I know I could do the math here, but I like to count. So this is 6, these are my 2 half pieces, 7, 8, 9, and 1/4. And then when cutting this piece too, I've also noticed that if you line up your 3-inch mark on your middle seam right here, then that also shows the middle. But I like measuring all of it just to triple check I have the right measurements. And then I like to use my 45mm, my comfort cutter, because it's an ergonomic cutter, and I cut fabric way too often that if I cut for long periods of time, my shoulders hurt. But when I use this guy, because it's ergonomic, my shoulders don't hurt, my wrists don't hurt, my fingers don't hurt. It makes life so much easier. Okay, we've done this side. Now we have to do the next one. And I just want to make sure that my blocks are still together. And I'm going to do this side, 9.25. Another trick when measuring this out is we know that this is going to be 3 inches, right? But to make sure everything is straight, I like to line up a perpendicular line on my ruler with my perpendicular seam just to make sure everything is nice and square. And then I can cut this side. And I've got my first 2 cuts. Now we have to do 2 more cuts to get 16 total squares. For our next cuts, we're gonna measure in from each of the edges, and we're gonna measure in 4 5/8 of an inch. And then again, I like to make sure I have my 4 5/8 lined up right here, and then I have 2 lines lined up perpendicularly. Then once you have everything lined up, you can go ahead and cut. And I'm gonna do this on all of the sides, 4 and 5. And then to do this last one so that I can reach better, I just like to turn my mat around or even on its side like this, and I can measure my 4 and 5/8. We have our 16 blocks, and now I'm gonna do that same thing to the red blocks. So I'm just gonna put these guys aside. If you want to, you can put these 2 blocks on top of each other and cut them at the same time, but you get a little bit more inaccuracies when cutting, so I recommend doing it 1 at a time. But for the quilt that you saw at the beginning, I did cut them 2 at a time, and it turned out great. I just had to work the seams a little bit more. Now that we've got our 2 blocks cut out, this is where the magic happens. We are gonna intermingle the pieces. And the way I like to do it is I like to take the alternating pieces from each row and then replace them with the pieces from the other 9-patch block. And look at that. That is gonna be so cute in the end. Ah! Now we have a new 16 patch that we can sew together. And if remembering these measurements are hard, don't worry, I have a free pattern in the description below with all the measurements, graphics, instructions for how to make the full quilt. And while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe for more quilting content. Now let's get back to making this. And if you don't chain piece yet, I would highly recommend chain piecing. This is where I'm gonna take all of my pieces in my 2nd row and fold them on top of my 1st row, just like this. And then I'll stack them on top of each other. And now I can take them to my sewing machine to sew them all together. So I'm sewing all those pieces first, and then I'll come and I'll add the next piece. Now I can come right here and grab each of these pieces by stacking them on top of each other. And I want to remember which way I'm holding it because this side is the side that I'm going to fold over. So I want to make sure I know that this is the side I'm folding over. Now I can open up my next piece, take the top and fold it right on top of that 1st row. And then I'll come and do the same with the last row. Stack them on top of each other. This is the side I'm folding over. Open it up, fold it on top. And here is your reminder that we are pressing everything open so that it is easier to line our blocks up later on. And as we're sewing these blocks together, some of the blocks may not be the exact perfect size as the block next to it, and that is okay. I'd rather have perfect points when putting these together, so I make sure that my points line up. And then if there's a little bit of extra on the side that is either like too little or too much, I just hide that in the seam allowance, and everything turns out great in the end. Then when it comes to sewing the rows together, so that I get perfect points, I like to pin at every single seam. So each row has 5 seams, and I'll always start with that middle seam and then work my way out. And now we got our finished block, and each set of 9 patches will make 2 of these blocks, and then you can make a whole quilt out of them. For me, the most fun thing about this block is how changing up the colors of it make your quilt look so cool and different. So with these colors right here, it kind of gives like a boxy 3D mirror effect, I would say, but you can switch it up depending on the vibe you're going for. So I made some color mock-ups so that you can visualize this quilt in different colors. First, we have some blues, and all of these are solids, and they're the Finesse Supreme Cotton Quilting Solids, which are Grace Company's brand new line of solid fabrics, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So for this first quilt, you get the same 3D boxy look, and it has midnight blue, blue sapphire, glacier, ice blue. Then we've got a version with greens, which I feel like gives a little bit more of the 3D effect than the blue version. And it's using emerald, sage green, bay leaf, and eucalyptus green. Here are 2 more pink purple variations, and you can really tell that the values of the colors you're using really make a big difference in your final quilt. On this version, there is a lighter pink, and on the other version, the main difference really is this darker pink. And because there's not as drastic a difference of values, this one looks a little bit more 3D than this one does. And if you don't really want the 3D look and boxy effect, these two versions have the colors just kind of a little bit of everywhere, and I love how scrappy and fun it looks, especially this version that has Tahitian blue, leafy green, candy floss, and marigold. It is just so bright and happy. These blues are also so beautiful together. It's midnight blue, Tahitian blue, blue sapphire, and glacier. I feel like no matter what color option or way you go with this quilt, it will turn out so beautiful in the end. If you end up making this quilt, please tag us. I want to see you and cheer you on and see your beautiful quilts. Thank you so much for hanging out, and remember to subscribe for more fun quilting patterns. Remember, we put free patterns out all the time, and I'll see you next time. There's so much more to learn from Grace Company, and you can check it out on our support channel, our Quilters Playground channel, and right here.